So now let's take another case, okay, known as the extensive cultivation. Okay, earlier, in order to produce more and more amount of labor, more and more amount of capital are employed in that very same plot. Okay, whereas under extensive cultivation, in order to meet that increasing demand, what happened was cultivation is being extended to those less fertile plot of land. Looking at a diagram, we we can see a situation depicting or showing what is referred to as the extensive cultivation. Okay, again, let's go back to the first diagram. That is, uh, the first diagram depict a situation when only plot A is being utilized, is being used, or is being brought under the plow. Initially, when prices is OP, when only OQ amount of output is produced, we get the equilibrium at point E, where MCA intersects the ACA at point E, giving us OQ as the output and a price OP. At this particular point, plot A does not yield any rent because why? The price OP or QE just equal the average cost QE. But again, like what we did talk earlier, suppose population increases, which lead to the increase in demand. And with the increase in population, with the increase in demand, what happened was there is uh, there is a tendency for the price to increase. Okay, so with the increase in demand, price will increases, say from OP to OP1. This is shown. This is the situation of plot A. Okay, under this type of cultivation, in order to meet that increasing demand, okay, what happened was cultivation is being extended to other plots of land, say plot B. Okay, so what happened was with increase in demand, those cultivator now they extend the cultivation to plot B. Okay, so with this very diagram, looking at plot at diagram B, which shows the situation of plot B, what happened was with increase in price to OP1 as what we had earlier, okay, at OP1 price, okay, we get OQ as the equilibrium output, which means the two curve MCB intersects the ACB curve at point E1, okay, giving which shows plot B is producing OQ as output at a price OP1. At this output, at this price, what happened was if we look at this plot B, OP price, which is also the same as QE1, okay, price just equal the average cost. Okay, so in this particular situation or at this point of time, this plot of land B is considered as the marginal land. Okay, why plot B is considered as the marginal land is because the price OP1 or QE1 just equals the average cost QE1, and as such it is termed as a marginal land. But now let us look at plot A. With the coming of plot B into the picture, let us have a look what happened to plot A. Earlier, when price is OP, A, it is a marginal land. Okay, but the moment when plot B is being brought under the plow, plot A, the price increases from OP to OP1. Okay, and the moment price increases from OP to OP1, what happened was there has been a change. Okay, if you look at plot B, BQ1, it is the price. Okay, and if BQ1 is the price, how much is the average cost? Average cost is AQ1. Okay, so yes, there's a difference between this price and this average cost, which means this plot of land starts earning a rent of AB per unit. And if we multiply this rent per unit AB with the total output AC or Q1O, we get BACG as the total rent that is being earned by this plot with the employing or when the cultivators are using the plot B. Okay, so in this particular situation, plot B, it is a marginal land. Okay, why? Because there is no rent. And if you look at plot A at this same price, OP1, okay, it means this plot earns a rent equivalent to BACG. Okay, so in this case, B, it is a marginal land. A, it is considered as the intra-marginal land. And again, suppose if population keep on increasing, that will result to increased demand. Okay, and the moment demand increases, that will push up the price. And if that happens, there is a need to extend cultivation to some other inferior plots of land. Okay, now let's take a situation when these groups of migrants, okay, they don't only cultivate only plot A, plot B, but now they extend their cultivation to another plot of land, let us say the plot C. So, with the increase in demand, with the increase in population, there is a necessity, there is a necessity to extend cultivation to other inferior plots of land. And as of here, they not only cultivate plot A and plot B, they now start cultivating or making use of plot C as well. So, with the increase in demand, it results to the increase in price, isn't it? Okay. So, with the cultivation of plot C, or with the coming of plot C into the picture, what happened? If we look at this diagram over here, this diagram depicts the situation of the plot C. At OP2 prices, what happened was we get the equilibrium point E2, which is the intersection of MC curve and AC curve. So the intersection of these two curves at point E2, it gives us OQ as the output and OP2 as the price. So again, the same thing, if you look at this plot of land, this plot C, the price is OP2, the output is OQ. Okay, and so producing this OQ output at a price QE2, okay, let's again find out how much is the average cost. Yes, the average cost also is E2Q, which is the same as the price. E2Q is the price, which is also the average cost. So since the price just equal the average cost here, which means there is no rent. Okay, and in this particular situation, this plot C, it is a marginal land. Okay, now let's go to plot B at OP2 prices. At OP2 prices, earlier this plot B, it is a marginal land, isn't it? But when the price increases from OP1 to OP2, this plot of land no longer become or is no longer considered a marginal land, but instead it is considered as the intra-marginal land. Why? It's because at OP2 prices or at HQ1 prices, okay, EQ1, it is the average cost, which means this plot B is earning a rent equivalent to HI per unit. And if we multiply this rent per unit with the total output IK or Q1O, we get HIKP2 as the total rent that is being earned by this plot B when C plot is being brought under cultivation. Comparing these two, B is no longer a marginal land, but instead it referred to as the intra-marginal land. But here, plot C, yes, it is a marginal land because why? There is no rent that is being earned by this very plot. Again, let's look at plot A. With increase in price from OP to OP1, okay, the rent that is being earned by this plot A with the cultivation of plot B, it is P1 B A C. Okay, and as such, at this point of time, that is at OP1 price, this is the intra marginal land, whereas this is the marginal land at OP1 prices. But later prices increases from OP1 to OP2. With increase in prices from OP1 to OP2, the amount of rent that is being earned by this very plot increases to DF uh, sorry DFGP2, okay, which means as more and more plot of land are being brought under the plow, the amount of rent being earned by these earlier plots, for example the plot A, will become bigger and bigger. So in this particular situation, what happened was, yes, initially only the first plot, that is a plot A, is being brought under the plow. Later, due to increased demand, in order to produce more, cultivation is being extended to plot B. Okay, and with the cultivation of plot B, it is the marginal land, A, it is the intramarginal land. But again, with increase in demand, there is a need to extend cultivation to plot C. And with the moment plot C comes into the picture, C, it is a marginal land, whereas plot B and plot A, it is the intramarginal land. Such cultivation is referred to as the extensive cultivation. Okay, so we'll stop here for today.